Okay, we're back working on the slick shot. Mike's busy at the moment, and I'm going to go ahead and start filming because I may fix this before he gets done. When we left off last, the volume didn't work, and let's see, the sensors wouldn't work. So we got the volume going. That was pretty easy. I think maybe we came back for a quick update, and I'll show you what's up with that. So inside the coin door here, let me see. I think I have the flash on. No, it's not. Okay, well, I'm going to try to do this with the best light I have. Let's see if this is still in frame. Well, this is the volume pot here. It is pretty dark. This little blue wire had come off. So it's got 3 wires to turn the volume. That's all it was. It had just broke off. And this thing was hanging, so we have it sitting up here for right now. We're going to put a nut on that. And then I'm working on the sensors now. And let me see if I'm going to try to turn this camera off and then turn it back on with the flash. Yeah, I don't have any flash going. Maybe we can see a little bit better. Hang on. Well, it's not much better. It's just the way it's so bright out here and then dark inside the game. So basically, these are the connectors that go to the sensors. We have, let me make sure I can see. Okay, this one goes to the right side, this one goes to the left side. And they are located here and here. Now, we needed to test the voltages on these first. I read on the forums that the sensors for, this is the sensors for the actual ball whenever you shoot. There's also a sensor for the cue ball. Ours is working at the moment, so we'll double check that when we get to it. So I needed Mike to check the voltages on this, so he was like, well, there's no 5 volts over here, and there's 5 volts on this one, but only at this pin. Well, if you just simply look, this wire, they all come into this bundle. The only thing that goes away from it are the green and the orange wire. The orange is 12 volts. So the rest of them come up into this connector, which the red wire, which is reading nothing from this one, is actually this one that's pulled out. So this one needs to somehow, if I don't have my pins with me, otherwise I would just pull this red one and then stick the 2 wires in together, repin it, and shove it in there. That's what needs to happen. And there's no way that we can find out if this is even working or not until we can jump this to there. So only thing I can do at this point in time is just basically hack into this and just splice it in there and just go from there for right now, really. But let's test and see what the other red wire on that side is doing. And if you're watching and you have this problem, your sensors aren't working, and I tested the power supply. It's putting out 5.1. All the voltages are correct out of the power supply. We just need to check this. The problem I read on the forums are that at the sensor it needs to be 5.1 volts itself, and so people are turning up their power supply so much to get that 5.1 through this and then around to the other connector that they're frying their board to get it that high. And so my plan is to run a separate wire straight from the 5 volts on the power supply and jump it straight into this wire, and if need be, jump another one straight into the other connector. That way it's not going through the board and it doesn't get as much voltage drop. I also had to, I want to say, before I started testing these, scratched off a bunch of oxidization. You just touching it, you couldn't really get a reading at all because it really wasn't making a connection. So can you see the meter in there? Okay, kind of. This is the other 5 volts, and it is nothing. Make sure I'm just not making a bad connection. Okay, now let's check on the wire coming in. I don't see anything there either. Okay, so it's coming in at 5.94. So that's not really enough anyway. So since I'm not going to repin this and do this the correct way at this point in time, which I'll have to come back and fix this up later, because I know Mike won't want it hacked. I'm going to go ahead and run a 5-volt wire straight from the power supply down here. I'm just going to run one straight from there, and then join it up with this connector right here, or this wire that it's already putting out. It's putting out 4.97. I'm still going to join it with the one straight 5-1, and then merge it with this one, and that should connect solid power to here, and hopefully daisy chain over to this other connector. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and we'll test the voltages. Okay, I got this extra 5-volt line wired in here. Mike did have a couple connectors. It was an eyelet, and it was huge, so we kind of had to just make do. So let's go ahead and see. I can't see. Okay, I can see that on the camera. On the display, I can't see anything because there's so much sun out here. So let's just test our new 5-volt line here, and which I already did it, but I wanted to film it and show you what the voltage is coming at. I had to adjust the power supply, so we're going to grab ground from here, and then this is our 5-volt line. Are we on frame? Kinda. Okay, so we're getting 5.1 solid on there. So now what I'm going to do is I pulled this one out, and I cut that little piece of solder blob off the end to make this easier. I'm going to strip some back. I'm going to cut some of this long ass wire off of here, but I'm going to join these two together, and then I'm going to snip here, also back some wire off. Then I'm going to tie all of these together, and then I'm going to run heat shrink over it so that these come out the back side here, and this will come out as just one wire from this side. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully that'll daisy chain the 5.1 volts to both sensors, and then we'll test the voltages first, and then we'll fire it up and see if it works. Okay, I have that wiring done. I spliced in the wiring. Like I said, I don't really like it like this. I need to zip tie this up and clean this up. I don't know if you can see this. This one wire that I ran straight from the power supply is just out and about. So I just spliced it in here with some solder and heat shrink, and then the 5-volt comes to this, but it also right here goes daisy chains over to this other connector. So I need to find out how close we are to 5.1 here. We were right at 5.1 before, so I assume that we should be like 5.8 to 5.1. Should be pretty close. So let's go ahead and test that, and we'll test this connector here. Make sure. I think we're in the same spot, so I should be able to see it. Put the meter on. Does that help any? Now it's got kind of a glare on it. I think it was better this way. Yeah, okay. Sorry about the visual here. It's just, this game is too big to move by myself, and it would take too long, and I think I can fix it before all that happens. So the game works, the monitor works. The only problem was it had a sensor error, and so we could not start a game. Well, we could start a game, but it wouldn't register any of the balls going anyway. Now, other people have mentioned this in videos, and it is applicable. If you're good at using chopsticks, this part is really good. I'm not, but I'm actually, I think, getting better from using my meter. So these two right here are going to be ground and 5-volt. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on. Duh. That's why this isn't a professional TV show. Okay, let's get our chopsticks back out of here. Should have known. I didn't hear any sounds coming out. Alright, Daniel-san. Okay. So this is our 5 volts, 5.1 on the nose. See that? Nice. Okay. So let's check our other connector. So this is the one. Okay, that's the one I spliced. I might have just checked this one. I think I might have checked the wrong one here. Okay, well that one's 5.1. Just to make sure, check this one. This one has to be because that one's the daisy chained. So looks like we are pretty much perfect for what this thing needs. I don't have my chopsticks right. I don't remember who said that, but it's so true. Okay, 5.1, so we should be good. So I'm still going to go ahead and turn the game off, and then plug these plugs in. And actually, I don't even need to kill the camera. I'll just take a second to do that if I can get this set up. Oops. The side art's just, the laminate on the cabinet's just falling off. Mike thinks that he can save it. We'll see about all that, I guess. Okay. Get this side plugged in. And this side. No, I don't have my hat on because it is freaking muggy out here. And my blues hat is wool. Okay. Oh, the meter's still in there. That's why it ain't fitting. Another big duh. Get all the cables out of here. I still need to tidy that wiring up, but before I do that, I want to make sure that it actually works. It's not going to do us any good to have nice, clean, tight wiring on the inside if it's not getting 5 volts to the sensor. So hopefully we can see the screen a little bit. It's a little bit better than it was the other day. I think I'm zoomed in a little bit. No, I'm not. Okay. Now hopefully this works, because when I was reading on the forums, like, I'd say 7 out of 10 people that had a problem with this game were these sensors. And there could be bad sensors in there, even if we get voltage to it. Give this thing a minute to warm up. Okay, it's starting to come in. Let's see if you guys can see it at all. Not really. Oh, there you can see a little bit. Oop. So it's starting to come in. We'll find out now if it'll register a ball. Man, this would be so cool. Mike would be thrilled because he's just inside screwing with the cable guy. Press green button. Press green button.
One break.
Okay, we got cue ball. We got 2. Shoot now. Oh, I think it's working.
Shot.
Can you see it? Let me get right up here in the front. Just give me a little second here. Get you a better view. Hopefully maybe out of this light. Okay. It's hitting something back there. Okay, maybe we got it too far back. Okay, there we go. Now we can throw one. We don't need 2 cue balls. Alright, now let's test it. That wasn't very good. There's like 8 cue balls in here. Can't get that to work like that. Okay. Come on. How is that happening? Okay, so that time it didn't roll out. Taking me a little time here to figure this out, and I'm also not playing with a stick, so oh, that was too early. It is working, I'm just not any good at it. Just give me a little bit more time here, and then I'm going to stop and get a better view without all this sun right here. So if you shoot right there, it automatically goes at the side pocket. So from corner to corner here is straight at that side pocket. So I'm going to try to, okay. So it is a lot more like cool than you would think. Let's try this. Oh, that's about what I hit it at too. So it looks like the sensors are working good. I do want to get in there and clean them before we say it's all said and done. Alright. Well, that's definitely working. So let's work on a little bit of fine tuning here. Maybe darken up this monitor so we can see a little bit better. And then what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, dust the sensors and tidy up this wiring here that's in the bottom. And I'll be right back. Alright, I got this wiring all tidied up. Basically, I just zip tied that spare wire in here, and then any of the loose wires I kind of bundled up. So now there's a lot of zip ties going through here. Here's the wire, comes up into here. Neatened this all up. It goes out to the two sensors here and here to the sensors. And then I did some of this, if you can still see it, some of all this crap that was going to the coin doors, keeping the coin door from opening and closing. Now Mike hasn't seen the sensors work, only you have and I have, and he doesn't know. He knows I got it fixed, but he hasn't seen it. And let me see if I can get you a good shot in here. So the sensors on either side are right past underneath this thing on either side. So we probably need to take the air compressor and just shoot out whatever kind of dust is in there, just to Naya, why do you always hork? As soon as I hit record, it's totally silent for 20 minutes. So we need to dust that out before we give it the final know-how.
We're going to replace this belt too, and it won't be too difficult since it's, you know,
just
a small board.
underneath.
Yeah. It'll make it look a lot better.
And the side of the art is rough.
We'll get some 3M spray adhesive and apply it below here because it's totally falling off the
it's completely
side.
Gone.
We hope we can spray that down and
So
push on her and make
do you want to wait on that part of it or have that in another video? Are we doing that today? Or?
We could do it in 5 minutes. I'm going to go to the hardware store and pick up some 3M spray adhesive and hopefully get this to where it doesn't get knocked off because it's in my garage and people are walking by it and it could be knocked off and even more worse than it is.
I always catch you looking at the camera and like talking to him and then you're like way off frame. So I guess we'll do that. Do you want to check it out and play it real quick for a second?
No, we could. Yeah, I mean, he says he's got the sensors working. I don't know why that board's not going down.
If we could shut the garage door like halfway.
There we go.
Is that a possibility?
Dog gonna try to rush in.
Leave her ass out there.
Sorry, Naya.
With their hairballs.
Hey!
Gone! Get out of here! Damn it. No. Go outside. We're trying to.
Come on, Naya, come here.
We're trying to be famous, Naya.
Come here.
Go on.
Good girl. It's okay.
You're ruining our fake TV show.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good doggy. He's a good doggy. He's a good doggy. A good doggy.
All right, I'm stopping it while he does this.
Well, we did it. Got a slick shot working.
I did it. Well, you fixed the board.
Yeah. So, we're going to do a little gameplay here and show you this. It's a rare game, but this one's working perfectly now. I wonder what happens if I hit it real hard.
Now, Beth, don't con me. Now.
I thought you were going to shatter the bezel.
Same one fell in. So this is a pretty good game. It actually tracks from shooting. I need a little bigger stick, even though most of them were this small anyway.
You just gave up the big secret that you've already been playing it off camera.
Yeah. But I had to practice a little bit. I'm not going to come here and look like a total fool. Let's see.
Oh, you're right in front of the camera.
I apologize, but my shot's over here. Oh!
You missed them all.
You gotta get your angles correct, because it actually tracks where the ball is, which it should.
I'm just trying to keep those fluorescent lights off the screen.
Oh, dude. And that's correct, because I didn't hit it square.
So Mike glued the laminate back on the sides with some 3M spray. We filmed that to do that as well, and we'll release that on a day where I don't have a video prepped.
Yeah, now that it's going to stay on, I'm not worried about people walking by and knocking it off. This is a trick shot portion of Slick Shot. I'm going to have to get around 3 balls, so I can move it out here. Let's see if it works. Oh, I missed it.
So I guess the recap is it needed a transistor on the PCB that had shorted out, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what transistor that was?
Not the specific name, but I took it to Gateway Electronics in St. Louis, and the guy was able to, didn't give me the same transistor, but he gave me one that was applicable.
The equivalent.
And it actually did its job. It was supposed to burn out if you the power supply malfunctions and puts out too much of a voltage.
And
It
I
did
talked
what
about it
it's supposed to
earlier.
do. Yeah, we mentioned that before.
They had turned the power supply up too high, trying to get the voltage to 5.1 on the sensors.
Delay game, sorry. This is going in the collection. Unless you want to offer me $1,000, $1,500.
You're talking off camera again. But yeah, we covered the board repair and the video previous to this. It was arcade bottom feeder or something. I figured out why our count on bottom feeder episodes was off. We counted strikes and spares twice in 2 different videos.
Oh.
It was like 31 and 32, or 32 and 33 or something.
Oh, I see. Okay, so where are we at in that count?
I don't remember. I'd have to look.
We'll just have to put an asterisk on everything.
No, it's fine because we skipped one, and I was like, oh, we skipped one, and then when I went back, I was like, oh, it's because that's on there twice.
So there's 9 ball on this and this trick shot portion, but you can upgrade it and get 8 ball too. They made a later version and sent out an update so you could play 8 ball with 2 people. I read that in the research I did. I tend to research a game after I pick one up.
Not well enough to find out how to fix it, though. Apparently, this company went out of business like months after these were released.
Yeah, they released this in a bowling version, and then after that, it was finito.
And in the manual, it says wiring schematics to be released soon. And of course, since they went out of business, they never were released.
Them in. I think there is a set out there somewhere because I read somewhere that someone had them, but I still couldn't find them on the internet.
It was probably somebody just made their own.
So,
all right, well we're about 5 minutes on this gameplay.
Excellent. Oh, I missed it.
And scratched. Final
Well,
thoughts?
I'll definitely probably get the 8-ball upgrade. It's pretty. I mean, it's an interesting concept, just the interaction, and hopefully it quells my pool loving friends that miss my pool table. Now I got a pool table back in the house. They have
So for now,
no reason.
you're gonna find a spot in the lineup, and
yeah, probably I combine Silver Strike and Golden Tee into one with one of the perfect solution switchers, and this will slide in by Golden Tee.
it's about the same size.
It is a huge cabinet for what it is. This one is I think they only made it 1,500, either 1,500 or 750. I can't remember which.
I'll look it up and put it in the
And
description.
this one is number 136.
It's a low number if it's
it's
accurate.
It's accurate because it says it on the back.
Set your
and then there's a little paper inside that says.
Set the pool sticks on there so they can see what that looks like.
Yeah. And these aren't the original sticks. These are kiddie sticks that the owner before me picked up. So the actual stick should be a little bigger because, I mean, it's not even, holding it in. But obviously you can't have full-size sticks because you need a 14-foot stick.
That's already, 6 foot plus.
Yeah. About 6 foot. So, but, slick shot.
Make all your jokes because I'm getting ready to shut off the camera. He always makes these funny jokes 2 seconds after I stop the camera.
The problem is I can't make them up if you force them. I'm not that slick. Just when I shoot the pool.
Slick shot.
Yeah. Hey, if you didn't see me in that last video, don't ever watch it again. See ya. What did you think about that video? Did you like that video? I loved it. Was I not in it? Well, then I didn't love that. I better have been in that video. I hope you liked the video. It was definitely my best work. If I'm not in that video, you better watch this one over here. Oh, if you're not going to do that, just subscribe. You'll get a notification.